Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics. Now, usually take an older comic and break down the stories, but occasionally I do some of this where I take something I've got. In this case, bunches of digest comics. And we can go through and look through some of them I've done. Did a bunch of, started last year just after Halloween, from Gold Key Mystery Comics Digests. And then have done a few of the DC Digest comics. And I've still got a lot more of those to do. This time I want to take a look at some of the Gold Key Digest comics that I've got. So we'll just take a little look at them. Okay, now this first one we're taking a look at here is another Mystery Comics Digest. When I did those last year, I had expressed an interest of I want to find some more, and since I did that, I have found this other one, Ripley's Believe It or Not. The kind of rough and the very dark hues in this cover painting is kind of difficult to make out. Of course, has a cover painting by, I don't know, could be Golub, could be George Morse. No, I've forgotten his last name all of a sudden. Another senior moment. Anyway, it doesn't matter for the moment. And they have ads for some of the other stuff on the back. And this is from 1975. Yeah, as I've said before, back in the 60s, 70s, and even through the 80s, several publishers did a wide variety of digest-sized comics, and that's just one that I've got several of. This is the only one I've ever seen of these, and I really like it. This is, of course, is from what was it, 1973, I think it was. Turok, Son of Stone, digest-sized comics. Now this goes back. Now, for those who may be familiar, Turok, Son of Stone was with he's an American Indian and his young friend Andor, lost in Lost Valley, and they're constantly up against dinosaurs and a variety of primitive people, from ape men to and eventually they even meet and become friends with someone else who was lost in there from one of the higher civilizations of from Mexico or Central or South America. And I can't remember that character's name, but it doesn't matter because it's not in here. But what's interesting about this is this reprints the very first Turok, Son of Stone story, and how they got into Lost Valley, and the fact that there was more than one Lost Valley. They first get into this Lost Valley, and they're not up initially against dinosaurs, but primarily mammalian megafauna from the Paleozoic era, right? And then they go through it, get lost, go through it, some tunnel, and go even further into the into Lost Valley, and are up against the dinosaurs and stuff. Meanwhile, it has a few other stories in it, like this in here, is just as a story about of some American Indian characters, not directly related to Turok. And of course, Turok was with several other Gold Key characters were later picked up and re-envisioned by Valiant Comics, and I think they did a terrible job. The only reason most people today, younger people anyway, know anything about Turok is from the video game of what is it, Turok Dinosaur Hunter or something, which came out of Valiant's version of Turok, and I hated that. The only one of those that had any promise was Magnus Robot Fighter, and that with after a few issues that became crap too. So the best thing I liked was the coloring technique. Now here is a treasure that until I was looking through this, I had completely forgotten that I had. Because if you've followed me at all, my channel at all, you know that I am a big Tarzan fan. And amazingly, I had completely forgotten I had this, of course, the Gold Key, Tarzan of the Apes Digest. And this is from 1969. But the Tarzan stories are older, probably from the 50s or early 60s. Because all the Tarzan stuff is Jesse Marsh art. Of course, the cover is all Russ Manning. Some lovely Russ Manning stuff. But had the Jesse Marsh Tarzan art. Yeah, Jesse Marsh Tarzan art, but had Turok, son of Tarzan. It's all Russ Manning. And then they also had the Russ Manning doing the Brothers of the Spear, which had been a backup story of in the Tarzan strips, Tarzan books, created by Gaylord Dubois, and had been drawn by Russ Manning, and until he took over doing Tarzan, and then eventually did the Tarzan comic strip. And when Gold Key lost the license for Tarzan, and it went to DC, they had two openings in their regular title slots. So Brothers of the Spear got their own title, drawn by Jesse Santos, and then they created the Jungle Twins to fill out the other title. And there is one non-Jesse Marsh Tarzan story in here, and I don't know who this artist is. It's not bad. I have seen his or similar work before, but I just don't know who it is. And that is a story from depicting an episode from the Jungle Tales of Tarzan book by Edgar S. Burroughs. And speaking of which, I have right here another one. But this is not actually a comic. This is prose stories illustrated by Dan Spiegel. Yeah, Dan Spiegel, and written by Gaylord Dubois. And these are all stories from Jungle Tales of Tarzan, and it's just adapted by Gaylord Dubois for this format. Those are the treasures. Those are the real treasures. Well, they're all treasures here, because here we have the only one I've got of these too. Golden Comics, Tom and Jerry. Because Dell/Gold Key had the rights to the Warner Brothers characters, the MGM characters, and the Disney characters, which is unusual. One publishing company publishing all those competitors. So this is just Tom and Jerry stories. All fun stuff. All fun stuff for Old Quack. Spike and Tyke and all those from MGM. And then we got Disney stuff. a whole bunch of these Disney, and these are like thick ones. And these are reprinting their various Disney stories. Some of them are adapting live-action movies or TV show tie-ins, etc. Of course, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge, Little Hiawatha, and another one, a little rougher. This features Cinderella, of course, Uncle Scrooge, Donald Duck, and more. McDuck Clan, the Ducks. And then here we've got Peter Pan. This has the entire adaptation from the animated Peter Pan movie, just in sections, as well as all kinds of others, including some of Disney's nature stuff. They have little things about their nature. Here's another one. This one features Alex Toth's Zorro, because Disney had the very popular Zorro TV show in the 50s. Okay, and these are all from the 70s, I think. 60s and 70s. More True Life Adventure, Bear Country. And then, so even's got Daniel Boone. That's a surprise. Which is surprising considering Walt Disney presents Daniel Boone, which is kind of a surprise. I saw some Jungle Book in there. Here's some of their true life, animal adventures. And because Walt Disney had Davy Crockett, their big one. We have Captain Nemo, so it says, and Mowgli from the Jungle Book. Captain Nemo from Voyage to the Bottom of the... no, wrong one. Wrong submarine. Fantastic. I'll get it yet. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Here we go. Captain Nemo. And Walt Disney's Dumbo. Donald and Scrooge, the Prize Pizarro. Mickey, the Potted Plant Potted Plant Plot. Ooh, that's hard to say. Whole bunch of these. And I happen to have 2 copies of this one, and it's all special Frontier issue. Everything's featuring Western stories. All their characters in the West, including, what's this one? Yeah, young Davy Crockett. There we go. That's fun. And then we round this out with The Sorcerer's Apprentice from Fantasia. Brer Rabbit, the Little Bad Wolf. Brer Rabbit, that's... And Brer Rabbit is from Song of the South. And that's a Disney movie you're not likely to ever see again. Except if they happen to have some bootlegs available. Because it's so iffy. So iffy. Yeah. What's this one? I like the art. I've seen it before, but I can't place it. Oh, that's, is that just Jesse Marsh? Could be Jesse Marsh. Nyack, Walt Disney. Life of a Boy. That's interesting. Almost Human. That's beavers. Oh, I really like the art in this one. Oh, that's from Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah, that's nice. And that's all I've got of those. That's all. And there's a lot of reading. I used to have a few other issues of the Disney books, and I had given some away to some people, and I kind of wish I hadn't done it. I got them all real cheap at thrift stores. I don't think I've ever seen them in a comic book shop. All from thrift stores. So, okay. My favorite's right there. And so I want to finish this out with that. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun reading. If you can find some of this stuff, that'd be a good introduction of this stuff to for kids. If you can find them, like I did, very reasonable price at thrift stores. And I don't ever see these anymore. And these are the old, like these two featuring Tarzan. I don't think I've ever seen them anywhere else. So I think they're fairly rare. Same thing goes for the Turok. I think I've seen that Turok book once before, besides the one that I've got. And that is it. Okay, and that's all I wanted to talk to with you about this time. Please, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please leave a comment. All those are good. And thanks again for joining me. And remember, comics are art.